Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to have a go at modelling this PlayStation controller inside of Fusion, and then what we'll do is have a go at bringing it into Blender as well. There is a couple of add-ons that are used. One is paid, the rest are completely free. So the two free ones are Blender Kit, which is how we apply our materials, and Image as Decal, which is how we added in our decals on there. The only paid one is One Click Age. I'll leave a link to it in the description. That you can do the entire project without it, but that's how I added things like these surface details of like edge wear, grunge, that sort of thing. But you can complete it without it. As I said, all modeling side of thing is done inside of Fusion, and then I zoom out. So we texture everything, lit everything inside of Blender. You got any questions? Please let me know. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is bring in our reference image. So come to Insert and Canvas, or you can click on this button here. Insert from computer, and then on my desktop I have got this reference image. Let's bring it round. So at the minute it's back to front, so if we flip that one, it'll flip it round. Click OK. Now this has got the actual dimensions on there, so I've actually got that from this website. Hang on. So this is probably one of the best websites in terms of being able to get reference images and accurate dimensions of anything. There is the paid version where you get all the like really detailed plans in it, but I just like search for all sorts of stuff, depending on what it is that you want, and then I just screen grab and then grab references like this. And a lot of the time it comes with all the dimensions and orthographic view that you want. So it's a really useful website to have. So benefit of Fusion is that we can right click and calibrate, and it tells us how big it's going to be. So I'm going to click on this end of this arrow here, end of this arrow here. So it's going to be 148 millimeters. Let's go 148. Hit enter. So that's now made it full size. I am also going to just make sure I'm going to right click, edit. I want this to be as centered to the origin as possible. So this is the origin here in the middle. So really difficult to get it perfect, but just trying to get it as close to the center as possible. So we've got that one. Let's do the same on the side here, and we'll grab this again. That's the right way around. Well, this time we're going to flip it around in a second. Let's right click, calibrate, and we'll click on this arrow and this arrow again. Do 148. But we want this one to be flipped around the other way. So let's right click, edit canvas, flip that way, and then drag this something like that. So if we turn to the side, hopefully it should start to line up pretty well. Let's come to the top as well. We'll do it one more time. Okay, and then let's calibrate that again. And we'll click, and we'll click. We'll go 148. And then we want this one. So let's edit canvas, bring it into position. Let's try and get this set as we can do. Okay, so we've got our reference images set up. We don't want them for any particular reason. We can just turn them off with the eyeballs at the side here, or turn all of them off in one go. I'm going to give this a save. Because then autosave kicks in. So if you're looking at it, the best thing I always find is trying to find what the most complicated bits will tend to be, and it will tend to be like the actual handles itself rather than everything else. But everything else is relatively simple. If I get up a couple of images, so we can have a look. Yeah, there's nothing massively complex about it, but this bit here is probably the hardest bit because it's not something you can like extrude or revolve or that sort of thing. Okay, so if we take like this one so we can have a look at what we're doing, let's drag that to the screen. Let's start. Well, I'm going to do like half a bit when we're over. Come here, I'm going to hit C for circle, or come up to center circle there, or create circle. I'm going to go circle, but I'm actually going to go 2-point circle. I'm just going to click there, come down like that. So I've got that. I'm going to hit E to extrude. Come to the side. Let's drag that out there. I'm going to change that two-sided. Drag it out a bit bigger than it needs to be. Something like that. So we've got that. What we then want to do is start to do the actual handle that. For that, we're going to use the form tool, which is this purple box. Create form. I'm going to pick a box, and I'll click on this plane. I'm just going to drag roughly that sort of size. I'm going to leave the rest of these settings, face length and width, length faces and width faces, leave that as 2. I'm going to open up my bodies folder, right click, move copy, and just sort of move it roughly into position using the widget to sort of move and rotate it around. Now, if I come to the side, you'll see at the minute it's not right yet either, but we're going to focus on the front first and then we'll do the side afterwards. So how forms work is if I go right click and go to edit form, what I can then do is you can either grab a face like that and I can move it around, Control Z to undo. I can grab an edge, I can add a vertices, which is the bit where the edges join. If you want to just select a particular one, selection filter, just go on vertex, which is what I want to do. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag select. So I'm going to drag select by clicking left and dragging the left rather than the right, because the left will grab everything behind it as well. If I were to just do that, it won't select the ones at the back. So you see the back there haven't been selected. Whereas if I were to just do, rather if I were to right click and do that, then it will select everything within that selection. So I'm going to drag it like this and slowly just try to work your way around to get everything in line. If you make a mistake, just Control Z undoes. Annoyingly, it's not like with everything else in Fusion where you've got like the timeline. Down here, the history, where you've got like your extruding, your sketches, your roles, where you can edit those later. You can't do that with form. So it's all just one action. So you need to make sure that you just Control Z and undo instead. So what we're going to do now is let's right click and move copy again. And then we can move it into position a bit more. Something like that. And again, edit form. We'll start grabbing these, bring them into position. Something sort of like that. So we'll look how it's looking. And click on finish form. If you try to finish form and it says it won't let you because there's an error, with forms, if something's intersecting itself, it won't let you finish it and you're kind of stuck in the loop of being in forms. So for example, let me just show you what I mean. So if I come over here and draw a box like that, if I were to say edit form, I don't know if it'll let me mess this up too much. If I take this and sort of like fold it in on itself a little bit, so you got like some weird overlapping sort of thing. If I go to finish form, okay, let me that time. If I go and edit, but what I'm getting at is basically, yeah, don't be surprised if when you're trying to do it, it doesn't cooperate. It's not the end of the world because it's a relatively simple thing. It's just probably easier rather than trying to rescue it. Just start again, to be honest with you. So we've got that. Let's turn our canvas off so we can see how that's looking pretty good. Let's combine those together. So we've got that. I'm just going to just check. So hopefully we're going to hit F for fillet or modify and fillet. And then we can start to add in some fillets. Check. You get like a smooth transition type of thing, something like that, which is working quite well, which is what we want, but we're not going to do that yet. I just want to check that that was working. Let's take that. I'm going to turn the canvas back on. create a mirror, and this is why we tried to make sure we're in the origin. I'm going to grab that body, select mirror plane. I'm going to select this one here. Okay, so now that's lined up like that. I'm going to create a sketch, and we'll do it on that midplane there. I'm going to go R for a rectangle, and let's come across like that, and finish sketch. I'm going to E to extrude. And if you have a look at the reference images here, so it doesn't quite meet where those circles are. There's a little bit of an indent, and it's also the same. Close that at the back as well. So there's a back one there. So you see that actually there's a little bit of an indent. So it's not going to be the full height of what we're doing. So let's drag that back over. I'm going to turn off canvases. This is why it's quite easy to turn canvases on and off. I'm going to click to there, but I'm going to drag it in just a little bit and change it to new body. Well, let's try, we'll do join and see if we get any weird errors in a second. Let's go 2 distances. I'm going to drag that in a bit more like that. So we've got a rough shape already. Now I'm going to give this a quick save, even though autosave should kick in. Click OK. So now I'm going to just keep checking that it will let me fill everything as and when I want to. I don't want any weird sort of errors to appear. That's letting me do that the whole time, which is good. Okay, so I get an error with that bit. Not so much there though. Okay. Let's then just check that it will let me fill it along here. The reason I'm checking this is sometimes when you go a bit too far and suddenly your fillets, fillets in Fusion can be a little bit finicky sometimes, so it won't let you sort of like fill it over like a weird sort of face where it's sort of overlapping. It just doesn't like it. So yeah, suddenly there it didn't like it. But then if you click, okay, so it's not going to like that, but let's see if I go all the way around, if it does start to like it. No, so it doesn't like that. That's fine. Let's just try over here as well. Right, this little widget always gets in the way. Okay, so it works well on this side. Just doesn't like that bit. So if we do that, then what we might be able to do, let's fill it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to undo this fillet. That'll just be sort of like testing that everything's going to cooperate as it should, which it appears to be. Let's split this body. So go split body. Yeah, right in that middle. And this side seems to be more cooperative side, so let's get rid of that bit. Right click. And remember, always go remove rather than delete, because if you delete, then you start getting some really weird like problems in your timeline later, which can cause all sorts of headaches. Let's have a go at doing our top bit of our trigger. Let's P to project to grab that circle, so we can go right in the middle and come up. And we go R for rectangle, go center rectangle, so we can grab that point. Something like that. And do a line straight across there. So this is all sort of construction lines, just so I can get bits to line up. So I go to create arc and 3-point arc, click, click, and then come up like that. You can then trim it all off. So I use T for trim and trim these bits. You don't need to. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but it just looks a little bit neater, and the OCD part of my brain prefers it that way. Let's grab these. I'm also trying to make sure that it's not quite in line. Like that. Finish sketch. And then what we're going to do, let's hit E to extrude. Drag. Back there. Do it two-sided. Got that. Let's then write a sketch and do arc. 3-point arc again. Let's grab like here and drag that. But we want to just make sure this one doesn't. Okay, delete that extra line. And then let's create arc, 3-point arc again. Wrap that. And then we're going to get line, just come up like that. Now what I'm going to do, if I turn off the bodies, turn off the canvases, I kind of want to just use the fillet tool in sketch mode because it's different to the one in solid, just to sort of make that a little bit of a smoother transition. And okay, if there's an error, it means that it's a smooth transition, so nothing new to happen there. Let's go to split body, grab that. Okay, turn off that one. So we now start to get the shape there. So then last little bit into the shape. Actually, I think we've pretty much got it as we need it. It's looking pretty good. Let's come to the front. So obviously it's different in that you got the D-pad and the actual buttons, but the actual sort of indent around it is identical. So we'll just do one and then we'll mirror everything across. So let's P to project, and again that's just so we can get this dot that's right in the circle, the middle of the circle. R for rectangle, or create rectangle and rectangle there, but I'm going to go for a center rectangle. I'm going to come up and sort of line that up as best we can do, like that. Create circular pattern. I'm going to double click to select all of it. Center point, I'm going to grab that and just up that to form. That just guarantees it's going to be exactly the same. I could redraw it quite easily, but just to make sure it's going to be perfect, I prefer using patterns because then you just know it's going to be exactly what you want. Let's drag that in. So we've got that. I'm then going to hit F for fillet, or modify and fillet. And let's just grab these edges. Let's here we go. Do like 2. Is that too much? That feels quite a lot. 1 looks better. Let's do 1. Okay. Let's then turn that off again. F to fillet. 5 looks about right. Not like that. Okay, so we've got that. Let's think next best step. Let's just see. Do I need that extra face? If I hit delete, nothing. Okay, so I'm going to grab that, hit delete just to create, like, delete that extra face that we don't want. I may regret that later, but we'll do it anyway. Let's do our triggers. So I'm going to come up, create a sketch. Now hopefully it'll find the center for me. It does. Perfect. Much like we did before. Let's go to R for rectangle. I'm going to go center rectangle. To grab that. I'll make sure I come in. And then we'll go line again. And again, all this is just construction lines, just so I can reference stuff later. Create arc, 3-point arc, click, click, and come up like that. And then again, I like to tidy it up, but it's not a requirement. Just makes it a little bit less messy. And then let's fill it and grab these. Like that. I'm going to hit E to extrude. We'll grab profiles. And then let's just drag it and go new body. Fake it. Nope, no one. Move copy. And let's take this, Control C, Control V to copy and paste it. Move round. Like that. Let's turn the canvas off so we see what's going on. Okay, so we've got those. Right, we're going to try this and see what happens. We might get some weird results with the fillet, so it depends on the order in which we're going to do it. Let's do this first. Let's combine cuts, target body U, tool body, these two, cut, but keep, tool body, sorry, grab those. So now if I turn those off, we've got those cuts in there. Now I'm just a bit conscious because I've gone over the faces there that maybe the fillets aren't going to quite cooperate, but we'll try it and see what happens. Like that, let's grab these to begin with. Let's also press pull, drag it to there. So that's a smooth transition. Yeah, so can we delete that face? We can do. Right. Can we, let's just see if this will work. Press pull, drag. Let's bring back our sketch, which I think was probably that one. Split body. Split that. There we go. Right, let's see if that makes it better or worse. It's an extra face here. Can I get rid of that? Can't get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. That's not why I want to do that. Let's Control Z and do that. Let's see how cooperative this is going to be. See, a lot of this stuff that I'm going around and deleting is sort of these extra faces that you sort of see where they start to overlap a little bit. That's what we don't want. Okay, so that works well. Okay, so we've got that. Okay. Okay, that seems to be working pretty well at the minute. Okay, we've got this double face here. That's probably not going to let us do. Yeah, we've got some weird results there. Let's take one of those deletes. That. Okay. We should be able to delete those extra faces in a minute. It says hopefully. Okay for that. Let's just see. Okay. Let's come back for those fillets. If I do that, then what happens if I try go forwards in time? Okay, so that's what that's emphasizes the point that the order in which you do fillets matters, and sometimes I have no idea why. My technique tends to be start small and go bigger as needed. Let's just see then which fillets were those. So that's fine, but let's just see if I can make those slightly bigger. 2.5. .7. Fine. Okay. So that is all that done. And that's got rid of now all those extra bits we don't want. Let's just see out of curiosity. I do that. Okay. I didn't like that one, which is fine. I didn't like which one. Okay. I think there we go. We're now sorted. Oh, and I just missed there. What was those points? Something like that. Right, let's bring back. Let's see what we got first of all. That we don't want. Right click, remove. That we do want. That we do want. I've got two of these though. What are these? Oh, what's that? Right click, remove. There you go. So we've got these. Let's read that correctly. Let's hit F for fillet. Bring it back. There we go. Nice. Let's give this a quick save. Let's then go to create mirror body, select that, and mirror plane, select this edge here. So we've now got everything modeled nicely there. Let's then do another mirror, bodies, grab those two, like that, and that should all line up quite nicely. So, next step then is to start these little details. Let's start over here. We'll go P to project. I'm going to come across like that, so I can find the middle, come straight up, and then C for circle. Let's trim this off here. C for circle, so I can find the middle, and then just drag it up like that. I'm also going to make sure I come to the middle of this circle, which is there. I'm going to hit E to extrude. Let's drag that in just a little bit. F to fillet. Do something small like 0.2. Let's then go to, actually we don't want that fillet, let's leave that one. Create pattern, circular pattern. This time change to features, and let's grab the extrude, the fillet axes, grab that, click OK. Then it comes off. So it has mirrored those fillets. Let's just delete those fillets. I want to just check. I feel like I might have made those circles a bit big, but no, looks about right. Let's hit E to extrude, so I can just grab that circle now and drag up, go slightly above. And go to new body. Now I'm going to F for fillet. Drag that down a bit. So we've now got our button. Let's go to create pattern, circular pattern. Bodies, grab that. Axes, we can grab this cylinder again. Go 4. Like that. So quite easily, we've now got all our buttons on that side. Let's come to the middle. And we're going to go this one first, R for rectangle, and come across like that. And then let's fillet these, but drag it back just a little bit. And I'm going to take, double click, Control C, Control V to copy and paste, and drag it over. So now it's in line. And this time I'm going to take this, drag it up. I'm going to do L for line, find the middle, and then let's come like that. Connect those up. Let's then trim away the extra bits we don't want. And then let's fillet that, hit enter, and then let's fillet these as well. Like that. Now looks a bit. I'll do a second. Let's come to like middle first. We'll come to like here. Create mirror. Grab that mirror line there. Then let's trim that off. It just looked a little bit weird. Let's see how this looks instead. Fillet and grab these, drag in. And then let's see. See, I pressed F for fillet, which is a keyboard shortcut for fillet when you're in solids rather than in sketching. So that's what happened there. Let's drag this. That looks a bit more like it. Finish sketch. E to extrude. Let's grab these. Drag in. Turn off our canvas so we can see. F to fillet. E to extrude. I can grab both these profiles. Drag up a little bit. Change it to new body. F to fillet. Like that. So now I've got those. So actually not far away from finishing. So here, let's go P to project to grab the middle of that circle. L, line's going to come up. R for a rectangle. Let's do a center rectangle and we'll come to about here. Something like that. And again, this is just construction lines that you can get rid of, it's just so we can make sure it's accurately drawn. Fill it these around a little bit. something like that. Let's hit E to extrude, drag in, billet, I did like a 0.3, create pattern, select the pattern, change the features, grab the extrude, grab the billet, axes, grab that and put it up to 4. And then let's hit E to extrude. Let's actually go to that height, change it to new body, F, that, create pattern, select pattern, change that to bodies, axes again, we can just grab that. There, so we've now got pretty much the front, I'd say the front actually completely done. Let's just turn over to the back. So I've got another reference for the back, bear with me. So I've got this here. So where's the back view gone? I had it a second ago. There you go. So what we've got here, a couple of screw holes and then indent where we've got like some embossed writing. Let's do an offset plane. Let's grab this and drag out like that. Let's create a sketch on that plane. So roughly sort of around there. Something like that. Let's take this, Control C, Control V, roughly over there maybe. Control C, Control V. Something like that. Control C, Control V. Something like that. Expand the middle there. Create mirror. Grab one of these. Grab that. Oh. Grab that one again. There we go. That's it. E to extrude, and we'll have to do these. Create mirror. I got the dot rather than the actual circle, which is annoying. There we go. E to extrude. I want to do these two first because it sticks out the furthest. Drag that in a little bit. Like that. Let's put our sketch back on. Hit E to extrude. I'll probably do all of those now. Don't try and see. Drag. Do these two a little bit more. Actually, you probably do want to do these two a bit more as well. There we go. So now we've got our screw holes. We will make a screw in a second. Let's just billet these little letters. Enter. I'm going to take one of these and mark which one. Just drag it out a little bit. I'm just going to make a quick screw. Let's truck driving past my house, which is probably going to be really noisy on the microphone, but we'll ignore it. up, come across to the side. Let's go to modify and extend like that, and then we're going to offset 0.6. I guess, but it kind of works. Minus 0.6, offset 0.6, offset minus 0.6. E to extrude. Right in. Like that. Then let's go to modify chamfer. Grab these faces. Not that face though. Drag that in a bit. Like that. Now let's just hit F or fillet and do something small. There you go. So now we've got a screw. Let's then just take it. Control C, Control V. Move into position. That. And let me just move them down. Take right click, move copy. Just that sort of sits in like that. Move copy. Move copy. And the last one. Okay, so we've got those screws sitting in there. We'll turn that sketch off. Let's just mirror that across. Create, mirror. Let's bodies. Grab these 4 screws. Select like that. Okay, so I think we're pretty much done. I'll just try something. I'm just noticing I might have made a slight mistake on the back. Let's just see. I can't fix it. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Let's just have a look. Great. Mirror. I'll just leave that as it is. Let's undo that. Okay, right. Let's stop the modeling side of things there. So what we're going to do now is take that over to Blender, have a go at texturing it. So let's, oh no, first of all, we want to have the split down the side that makes it look like it's been manufactured. So that's that split that comes across there. So let's create a sketch. Line, come down. Create arc. Really, it should be a straight line, shouldn't it, actually? Let's turn that off for a second. And this should be an arc. Okay, let's turn that off. So we've got that split. Split body. Let's turn off. We're going slate. Yes, we got those two. Let's go to create pipe. Do that. Too small. The arrow means that the pipe is intercepting itself, which it doesn't like. Okay, go all the way around. I'll make that a bit bigger, maybe. Should we see? 4, 5, 6. No, 5 is the limit. There you go. Let's then bring back this. So now it's going to cut into both at the same time. So now we've got that little join that makes it look like it's been manufactured. And then do this. Will this work? No, it will not. Okay, let's bring everything back. Check we're not missing anything else. I think we're good. So what we're going to do now is let's have a jump over to Blend to have a texture in it. So I'm going to give it save. I'm going to go to File, Export. Change that to FBX, export, and then we're going to jump over to Blender to have a go at texturing. Okay, so we're inside of Blender. So first of all, we want to grab everything by pressing A to grab all, and then press X, and you can go to delete. Then go to File, Import, and FBX. And on our desktop, we've got our model. I'm going to zoom in because it's tiny. So there it is. So what we're going to do is, while it's selected, R to rotate. Let's press X to lock it in the X-axis and type in 90, but go -90 because otherwise it's going to be upside down. Then we're going to hit S to scale and make it a little bit bigger. Like that. And let's just move that by pressing G and X and G and Z just to bring it up a little bit. There. So now what we need to do is start adding our textures to everything. So to help with the colors, there's this very useful website, imagecolorpicker.com. So all I've done is I took a PlayStation controller off Google, and then you just click and it will give you the hex code. It's a very, very useful website if you need to try and replicate exact colors. So I've got Blender Kit, so I'm going to click on materials. I'm going to go plastic, and we're going to grab this one. Now, at the minute, nothing has happened. So let's come to material preview like that. And then what we're going to do, we can come to shading. I like to close all these windows because we do not need them. View, area, close. I'll change this one to 3D viewport. So we see what's going on. So I'll click on it, and then we get all our nodes. And if you want to edit it, just find where the base color is, find what node is feeding into that. In this case, we've got a nice easy color wheel. So I can click on it, go to hex, grab the hex from that website, hit enter. Go back to layout. So I've now got that hex code there. I'll come to the materials tab, and let's call that make it gray, just so I can find it again quite easily. And what I recently discovered is a very useful feature. If you select that and select one with the material, if I go Control L and link materials, it does it for you, which is way better than having to redo everything over and over again. But we need, let's grab the same material, but I'm going to duplicate it. Call it Weston's Ray. Let's grab the hex code for that. Jump back over to shading. Like that. And again, let's grab all of these. Grab that one last. Control L. Link materials. So we need to unwrap everything because at the minute our material isn't actually seeing quite correct. So grab it. Tab to go to edit mode. 3 to go to phase A, and then U. I'm going to go to, because we can't properly unwrap it because it's a CAD thing without retopology, we're just going to cube projection like that. You see we get a bit more of the texture of the material as it should be. So select it, tab, 3 to go to face, A to select all, U, cube projection. Then tab to come out to edit mode again. Annoyingly, you can't unwrap all at the same time, what I know of. Now I've said that out loud, someone will probably correct me, which is fine. You can see it's unwrapping. You start like the actual like texture of the material starts to look more as it should. Okay, this thing. Let's grab a metal for our screws. For some reason my fans are kicking into overdrive. Grab all of these. Bell. Make material. Okay. I've got a few decals. So for that I've got an add-on, which is Shift A image, and it's image as decal. So it's free. I'll put a link to that in the description of the video for you. And then on my desktop, I have got, that's my downloads. I've got the Sony, oh, there's the PlayStation one as well. Got the Sony one. R to rotate, Z90. S to scale, GZ to bring up. Y to bring forwards. Okay, I didn't select the right thing. Now select it, Shift A, then do images decal. Z90. There you go, you see it's starting to spread weirdly. That's what we want. S to scale. The front. GY, bring forwards. Now it's kind of clipping at the back of it, so if I come to the modifiers here, I can change the offset. Something like that. Just check that it's not coming off the surface, which it isn't. Come to the front. I want to get this the right sort of size. Big actually. Something like that. Bring another one. Shift A. Image as decal. Then we've got the PlayStation controller. Or PlayStation logo, sorry. Scale down. GZ. And again, we can change the offset. In scale. Let's just scale down. Again, just trying to make sure it's not lifting off the base, which it isn't. I do need to move these around a little bit, I think. That probably needs to come a little bit further over. That looks like the right sort of size. Shift A, and just decal. Now the rest of the ones are ones I made in Photoshop quite quickly, just to start select, and then the symbols for the button. Z90. I spent ages trying to find out what the font for these were. It turns out it's just generic font, which wasn't that helpful, but that's the job. These are actually surprisingly big decals on the thing. Is that too big? Maybe a little bit. That's probably more like it. Shift A and just decal. We'll start one. Z90. Next to scale. Next challenge is to make that the right size compared to the select one. Probably about right. G. That's a bit bigger than it should be. There you go. Yeah, looks right. Let's give this a save so nothing crashes. And then Shift A, and then this one is the triangle. Set 90. Front G scale. I want to decided to stop mowing the lawn right outside my window. Hopefully, it's not really not ridiculously loud on the microphone, but it's ridiculously loud in this room. Let's to scale. One. Front. That. Shift A, and this time it's the X. Is that 90? One. And then last one. We've got square. Z 90. G. Really. 0.01. Okay. So we've got all our decals on. I'm going to give this another save. So let's add some lighting a little bit. So we're going to go, let's go cycles, GPU, denoise. We'll put the samples down a little bit while we're doing it. Render view, can't see what's going on. Let's go to Shift A, light, area light, G, light move back, RX 90. And all I'm going to do is just try and get it to point directly at the back like that. Start to get a nice little rim light like that. I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Go to the front. So you've got this like silhouette going on a little bit. Maybe you want to bring that up just a bit. That. Just a smidge. Okay. Then let's go Shift A, light, area light. Come out to the side. RY 90. Bit. Take this, Shift D over Z 180. that. Now let's shift A, do one more area light. G, come to the front. R, X. Turn this one down a little bit. So we've got our controller. So last thing I'm going to do, let's start adding a little bit of surface details for that. So for that I've got an add-on called One Click Age, which lets you add things like dust and wear and that sort of thing, which is really, really cool. Let's go. Put better to begin with. See what's going on automatically. It starts to add a little bit around all the edges. So you crank it up loads, you see what you get. I'll bring that down low, I don't want a ridiculous amount. You have to play around with the opacity a little bit. Change that colour, make it like a dirt. Not colour. Just a little bit. Something like that. Okay, so we've got that. Let's our fingerprints. We need to play with the scale. So keep fingerprints there don't look quite right. So let's make it a bit big. Oh, it's too big. So I'll see what's going on there. It's probably about right actually. Let's do that down just a little bit. We don't want to go too crazy. Let's see what happens with the dust. Is that noticeable really? Not massively, it's probably not worth doing that much. Some light scratches. Save. I think. Should we call that? Don't get too crazy with scratches. The scratches are quite small anyway, aren't they? That's massive. But I think pretty much done. Let's just see what happens if I hide that. Just lighting wise, Shift A, area light, GZ to bring up. Let's just try and hide this and see how that looks. Nope. Thank you. Thank you. Would you? Turn that down. Okay, let's stop there. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed following along. You got any questions or any requests, please leave a comment down below or email with design with Simon at outlook.com.